What happens when a nation stops waiting for help and starts building its future with bare hands and bold hearts? In this video, we are going to look at the incredible story unfolding in Burkina Faso, one of Africa's poorest countries, where over 200,000 citizens have launched a grassroots revolution. No foreign aid, no billionaire donors, just a powerful national movement called Faso NMBBO, meaning Build Burkina. Together, farmers, students, and mothers are paving roads, planting trees, and reshaping cities. They're not asking for handouts, they're rewriting what development means. From pride to pavement, this is what people-powered progress looks like. Stick around, because this might just be Africa's most inspiring story you've never heard. There's a long-standing belief that foreign aid is the lifeline for progress. Billions of dollars flow in every year from international donors, financial institutions, and global organizations. These funds are used to build roads, schools, hospitals, and water systems. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Much of that money comes with expectations, limitations, and hidden costs. When the money stops, the projects stop. Development stalls, debt increases, and the people, ordinary citizens. But something different is happening in Burkina Faso. This landlocked country, facing political uncertainty, security threats, and economic hardship, has decided to take a new path. It's not just about building better infrastructure. It's about reclaiming control of the development process. No handouts, no strings attached, just people rising to take back their future. What's happening in Burkina Faso is more than construction. It's a bold declaration. We can do it ourselves. In June 2025, the country's young and dynamic leader, President Ibrahim Traoré, launched what would become a historic national movement. It was called Faso NMBBO, a phrase that translates to Build Burkina in the Dioula language. But this wasn't just another government project or state policy. It was a rallying cry for every citizen to get involved, physically, mentally, and emotionally. The message was crystal clear. We will not wait to be saved. We will save ourselves. Didn't ask for money, he asked for effort, for hands and hearts, for commitment to the land and its future. He envisioned a Burkina Faso that wasn't reliant on others, but driven by its own people. And people responded, not with hesitation, but with overwhelming enthusiasm. From the dusty northern plains to the urban bustle of Ouagadougou, a movement was born. It wasn't imposed, it was embraced. A revolution, not of guns or politics, but of shovels, bricks, and pride. Today, over 200,000 Burkinabè have officially joined the Faso NMBBO effort, making it one of the largest volunteer-driven development initiatives in African history. So, what exactly are these thousands of citizens building? They're starting with the backbone of any developing nation, roads. For decades, the lack of reliable infrastructure has held Burkina Faso back. Unpaved, potholed roads made it nearly impossible to move goods, reach health centers, or connect rural areas to major cities. For farmers, business owners, and students, this was more than an inconvenience. It was a barrier to growth. But under Faso NMBBO, that is changing rapidly. Using locally made bricks, sand, and stone, volunteers are now paving between 2,000 to 5,000 kilometers of roads each year. These are not just city highways. They include rural pathways, village alleys, and previously impassable dirt tracks. In urban centers like Ouagadougou and Bobo Dioulasso, streets that were once muddy and chaotic now shine with smooth pavement and organized walkways. Local materials are being sourced and prepared by hand. Men and women mix cement in wheelbarrows. Youth groups lay tiles one by one. Trees are planted along newly paved streets, not only beautifying the environment but also contributing to long-term sustainability. This is infrastructure, yes, but it's also empowerment. Every road laid down tells a story. We built this. We did not wait. But the movement isn't limited to transportation. Across cities and towns, the citizens of Burkina Faso are reimagining their public spaces. Areas once choked with waste and neglect are being transformed into green parks, community gardens, and public gathering spaces. Where children once played in dirt heaps and trash, There are now benches, flowers, and shade trees. Where neighbors once avoided walking at night, there are now well-lit pathways and security lights. These upgrades are not just aesthetic, they're psychological. When a citizen sees a clean park, a freshly tiled walkway, or a well-maintained road, it fosters pride and a sense of belonging. People begin to take ownership of their environments. They begin to protect and maintain them. It also sends a strong message to future generations. Your country is worth building, not fleeing. The true power of Faso NMBBO doesn't lie in government funding or construction materials. It lies in the collective effort of everyday people. Farmers carry gravel from their fields in wheelbarrows. Students help lay bricks after school. Mothers cook meals for volunteers and contribute handmade tiles through women's cooperatives. Teachers donate their weekends. Elders bring water and words of wisdom. This is not charity. This is contribution. It's not about doing someone else's job. It's about everyone doing their part. One teacher in Bobo Dioulasso said it best. I may not have money, but I have strength, and I give it freely to my community. Even those without physical strength still play a part. Older residents donate rice, cooking oil, or time organizing efforts. Children sweep paths. Merchants offer discounts on supplies. Faso NMBBO has united people across class, tribe, religion, and age. In a time when so many countries are divided, Burkina Faso is showing what it looks like when everyone rows in the same direction. Perhaps the most revolutionary part of Faso NMBBO is the central role played by women. More than 30% of participants are women, and they are not just helping behind the scenes. They are leading work crews, coordinating construction logistics, operating machinery, and supervising teams. This is a powerful reversal in a society where women have traditionally been excluded from public works or heavy labor roles. But in Faso NMBBO, those old rules are being rewritten. Women are proving not just that they can build, but that they can lead. They are shattering stereotypes, redefining gender roles, and reshaping what national contribution looks like. As one participant put it, they told us women don't build nations. Now we're showing them we do. One of the reasons Faso NMBBO has earned so much credibility and momentum is because the man at the top, President Ibrahim Traoré, doesn't just give orders. He leads by example. Across social media, videos and photos of the president wearing casual clothes, wielding a shovel, or helping pour concrete have gone viral. This isn't staged. This isn't PR spin. He shows up at community build days, shoulder to shoulder with farmers, workers, and young volunteers. He's there digging trenches, planting trees, and carrying stones. This kind of leadership is rare. Traoré doesn't govern from a podium, he leads from the front lines. His words are simple but powerful. We don't want someone giving us fish. We want to learn to fish, and build the boats too. That idea, that metaphor, is now a mantra across the country. The message is loud and clear. We are no longer waiting. We are creating. The president's visible involvement hasn't just inspired participation. It's triggered a wave of national confidence. People now believe that their leaders are with them, not above them. And that kind of trust is hard to buy, but easy to build when the work is genuine. The impact of Faso NMBBO has stretched far beyond Burkina Faso's borders. Across Europe, the Americas, and other parts of Africa, the Burkinabè diaspora is rallying behind the cause. From France to Belgium, from Ivory Coast to the United States, Burkinabè abroad are sending tools and funds, and in some cases even traveling back home to physically help on the ground. For many in the diaspora, it's not just about development, it's about reconnection, about rediscovering their national identity and reinvesting in a future they can believe in. On TikTok and Instagram, videos of young men laying bricks side by side with elders are being shared by thousands. Women are live streaming their daily work from dusty work sites. Influencers are encouraging donations and starting global campaigns to spread the message of Faso NMBBO. At one donation drive in Paris, a young man stood up, held up his hand covered in cement, and said, "This is the hand that laid my first brick. What will your hands build?" That single video sparked a chain of donations, volunteer signups, and social media engagement. This movement has proven that national pride doesn't stop at the border. Even far from home, people feel deeply connected to this shared mission. Beyond the visible transformation of roads, parks, and public spaces, there's something deeper happening beneath the surface, an economic awakening. Faso NMBBO is not only rebuilding infrastructure, it's reviving local economies. Small businesses that supply tools, transport, sand, cement, and tiles are suddenly thriving. Food vendors who once had low sales now serve meals to hundreds of hungry volunteers. Local tile makers, once ignored in favor of imported materials, are now overwhelmed with demand. This isn't foreign funded. It's local money circulating locally. Every dollar stays inside the country, boosting domestic trade and enterprise. This is what economists call a multiplier effect, where one effort creates ripple effects that benefit many sectors of society. And more importantly, skills are being transferred. Young people who once saw construction as a dead-end job are now learning project management, logistics, bricklaying, carpentry, and engineering fundamentals on the job. They're gaining experience that will serve them for a lifetime. In short, Faso NMBBO is doing more than building roads. It's building human capital. This movement is not just focused on rapid results. From the beginning, sustainability has been a major part of the vision. Faso NMBBO is as much about protecting the future as it is about improving the present. One of the core pillars is green urbanism. This means designing cities and towns in ways that integrate trees, public parks, and open green spaces. For every road paved, trees are planted alongside to provide shade, purify the air, and prevent erosion. Parks are designed not just for beauty, but for resilience against urban heat and flooding. In addition, solar energy is being introduced for streetlights and public facilities. Burkina Faso has an abundance of sunlight, and Faso NMBBO is tapping into this natural resource to reduce dependence on fossil fuels and lower energy costs. There's also a growing push toward eco-friendly construction. Instead of importing costly materials, many builders are using indigenous techniques, such as compressed earth blocks, which are both affordable and environmentally sustainable. These methods reduce carbon footprints and create culturally appropriate housing. Community training programs on waste management, recycling, and environmental education are also being launched. These are not add-ons, they're core to the long-term success of the movement. Faso NMBBO isn't just rebuilding Burkina Faso, it's future-proofing it. Could this be Africa's blueprint for change? In a world where African countries are too often depicted as victims of poverty or political instability, Burkina Faso is telling a different story. One that is rooted in self-determination, one that doesn't beg for foreign intervention, but invites internal action. One that doesn't wait for a savior, because the people are saving themselves. And what makes Faso NMBBO so compelling is its replicability. While every African country has its own challenges and contexts, the core principle is universal. Empower the people, and they will deliver. This is what many are now calling the Traoré effect. A leadership model based on humility, participation, and vision. A movement that shows how trust, transparency, and national pride can unite a population far more effectively than any foreign loan ever could. Imagine if this model took root across the continent. Imagine what could happen if every country tapped into its people's energy, creativity, and willpower to build their own destiny. Burkina Faso is proving it can be done, and the world is watching. Burkina Faso is proving that real change doesn't need to be imported. It can be homegrown. Through Faso NMBBO, the nation is rising not with debt, but with dignity. It's a movement led by the people, powered by unity, and driven by a belief that transformation starts from within. From women shaping tiles to youth laying bricks, this story is a blueprint for a new kind of African development. So what's stopping the rest of us? If this story moved you, drop a comment, share it, and hit that subscribe button. There's more to come, more stories Africa needs the world to hear. Stay tuned.